So there are two specific books that I'm going to share with you that have helped me take my business from $470,000 in sales in 2022 to $950,000 in sales in 2024. And in 2025, we will do over $2 million in sales. Now rewind back to February of 2022. I had just done $46,000 in revenue in my business that was only 1 year old. And I finally felt like there was a light at the end of the tunnel of all the late night staying up until 1 a.m. working and just worrying about if this business would be able to make it. And the very next month, March of 2022, we rode the roller coaster and we did $16,000 in sales. Now, if you've experienced a financial roller coaster in a business before, you know just how stressful it can be. And at that time, it was just me and my virtual assistant. I did everything else in the business, the sales, the content creation, the posting on social media, the answering emails, the writing content, recording content, and then actually working with clients and doing the fulfillment of the business. It felt like I was sprinting in a marathon. There's no way I could keep this up for the long haul. Fast forward to today in February 2025. I already told you last year, our business did about $950,000 in sales, just $50,000 short of the coveted 7-figure mark. I took off the last 3 weeks of the year and did all kinds of fun things with my family. And we spent the entire summer working remotely in Asheville, North Carolina with my family, getting out of the treacherous Florida summer. Why do I share this all with you? Because if you're watching this video, you probably don't want to double your sales and increase business and sacrifice your personal life, right? You want to ideally live somewhat of a balanced life, be able to build a successful business so that you can enjoy your life and spend time with your family and your loved ones. But, more importantly, I went from pretty much doing everything in my business to now having a business with a highly capable team where projects and ideas get created and executed on without me. And so what happened? What happened to take me from 2022 me, where I was doing everything in my business, I was a slave to my business, to where we are today? We're growing, we have a great team, and they execute and do things without really me even knowing about it sometimes. Everything changed in September of 2022 when I downloaded a book on Audible. The book is called Who Not How by Dan Sullivan and Dr. Benjamin Hardy. The entire concept is about how shifting from a how mentality to a who mentality will completely transform your business, your results, and the quality of your life. It's a simple concept, right? It's not rocket science, but like all ideas, the magic is in the execution. The magic is in the actual implementation of doing it. And so a concept goes like this. When you're trying to figure something out in your business, most entrepreneurs and business owners start going down the rabbit hole and trying to figure out, how am I going to make this happen? How am I going to do this in my business? And they start, researching or learning and just spending a lot of time trying to figure out the actual how. When really, according to this book, the mindset should be, who do I need? Who do I need that already knows the how, where I can bring this who on into my business and they can take care of the how? Again, it's not rocket science, but unfortunately, a lot of business owners, including myself, get stuck and have gotten stuck trying to figure out the how. And there were two things that I was actively learning and trying to figure out how to master and apply in my business. There were two phrases that I really started to learn and embody in my business. And before I tell you the two phrases, the reason why I felt like these were so important is I was seeing people around me that were building these amazing businesses. And I was wondering, why were we not seeing the growth that I thought we could experience? I felt like, hey, I'm a pretty smart guy, but for whatever reason, we just weren't seeing exponential growth. So here are the two phrases that I learned. So the two concepts are this. Number one, sales cures all. The idea behind this concept is most, if not all, problems in your business can be solved by generating more sales. The thought process behind this is, the more sales you have, the more money you have in your business. The more money you have in your business, the more you can hire people to solve whatever the problems are and get the help that you need in your business. There is a phrase, if you have the money to solve a problem, you don't have a problem. The second one is the best marketer wins. And so maybe you've experienced or seen entrepreneurs who didn't even seem that smart or that impressive, but they just somehow knew how to grow a business because they were really good at marketing and they mastered marketing in their business, and that's how they were able to grow. They knew that marketing leads to sales. So those were two of the things that I was trying to figure out the how in my business, and it started to become really clear that I really needed a who. So at that point in my business, we were past the proof of concept, and I knew we just needed more sales appointments to grow. I had boiled it down very simply. If we get more sales appointments, we will grow. I had done all of the math, all of the numbers, reverse engineered all of our success. Forget all the other complicated. More sales appointments will lead to more sales. That's it. So in October of 2022, I hired a full-time appointment setter. And so that was one of my who's. Like, I wasn't gonna spend all the time figuring out how to get a hold of all these people and leads we were generating. Actually, what happened was I invested into a system through a company that had it all figured out of how to convert leads into sales. And as a part of that, it included hiring an appointment setter and teaching them the whole process in the system. So that was really step one of the breakthrough of hiring a who. And so a who doesn't always have to be an employee. The who can be a contractor, it can be an agency, it can just be someone that you get advice from. The idea is you're not out there trying to figure things out on your own and try to learn everything that you need to know to solve a problem in your business. And at the same time, I found really trusted experts in the franchise world that could work with our clients and do the actual franchise brokerage side of the business, which I personally didn't enjoy doing. And outside of me not enjoying doing it, it also took a tremendous amount of time, as you can imagine, to actually fulfill on the service, to work with clients and to give them the attention that they needed and support them through their journey and their process. And if you've tried to grow a business before, you know how hard it is to grow when you are working in the business and not on the business. As a business owner, you need to focus on what Dan Sullivan calls your unique ability. What's the thing that you're really good at and enjoy and that no one else in your business can do? For me, that was writing and recording content and working on our product and our systems. But what I learned was we could only grow so much with just our content. That's how we were getting clients at the time, making these YouTube videos. But we needed to get about 3 to 5 times the amount of leads to be able to grow to where we wanted to grow in the business. And so I hired multiple ad agencies and it didn't work. We just were having trouble trying to get things working. And for any of you who have ever hired agencies, you know that, hey, sometimes, they aren't great at fulfilling on their promises. And so for almost a year, really had struggles with hiring different agencies and just trying to figure out the how to the process. Eventually, the who, not how mentality kicked in. And, I just started thinking, I really can't figure this out on my own, and the who's that I've hired are not working. So I thought, I really need to hire a full-time director of marketing. Now, this was terrifying. Up until this point, we had contractors that didn't rely on the business to pay a full-time income. We could reduce hours or work, and it was much less risky and provided a lot of flexibility. So hiring a full-time W-2 director of marketing was not just scary, but I couldn't really afford that and to keep paying myself what I was. But the who, not how concept teaches that hiring who's is an investment. And with time and the right shift in focus, that who will help to produce an ROI, return on investment, in your business. And so that's what happened. We increased sales from $470,000 in 2022 to $780,000 in 2023. It was far below what my goal was, but it still represented 65% growth in sales. So how do we keep this going? In March 2024, we hired a full-time sales coordinator because at that point in time, I was still taking a lot of the initial sales appointments, and we were booking a lot of appointments now, right? Like our strategy of finding a who for an appointment setter worked. We were booking more appointments, but then that created more demand on me. My calendar was starting to get really busy, and I wasn't able to focus on other things in the business that were my unique ability. So you can see how this principle, you just continue to stack and stack and stack, and keep finding whos. And when you pair this with the second book that I'm going to share with you in a minute, you can just really explode your business. And this is how it really applied to our growth and what we're seeing now. And so since inception of 2021 up until the end of 2024, we hired 3 full-time W-2 team members. But now it's like, okay, we really want to grow and scale. I'm watching other entrepreneurs put up crazy numbers. Really, in my mind, I'm thinking, I want to help and impact more people, right? Maybe you've experienced that before where you know the product or service or whatever it is that you're doing in your business is valuable and you guys do a fantastic job. And you're just like, I just want to get out there and help more people. So that was really my mindset. And that led me to reading book number 2. Ironically enough, this book is by the same authors. And this book is called 10X is Easier Than 2X. So after reading 10X is Easier Than 2X, what I learned, the concept is not just about 10Xing a metric, but it's about 10Xing the intangible, 10Xing your impact, 10Xing other areas of your business. And the concept is that to 2X your business, to double, it requires a linear level of thinking. Okay, if we want to double our business, we just have to double the amount of clients that we help, right? But in order to 10X your business, it requires a completely different level of thinking. You can't think with the 2X mentality. You actually have to shift the fundamental core of how you're operating now. It could mean a new business plan, it could mean a new product offering, and it could mean releasing some of what you're doing now. So I read that book and I literally took notes throughout the entire book. Not only did I read it, I listened to it, I did all the exercises in that book, and I really processed on it. I really took it to heart. And so I took a risk and pivoted our business model, giving up a revenue source that was producing $30,000 to $40,000 a month in revenue for us. That was almost half of our monthly revenue, but I had a plan and we put some things in place and planted some seeds a few months before, right? That I knew would take some time to harvest. We did some things in the business where it increased our pipeline and I knew at some point, hey, this should increase our revenue down the line. I think it might. That was kind of my hypothesis. And so that's how it works in business. You have these hypotheses and you just take a risk and you test it out. It was terrifying, but it worked. And in December of 2024, we had our first 6-figure month, $110,000 in sales in the business. So as you leave this video, as a recap, there are essentially 2 concepts in 2 books to take away from this so that you can use this same method to double your business or to achieve whatever the results it is that you're looking to accomplish in your business. Number 1, sales cures all. If you generate more sales, more revenue in your business, that'll generally solve all of your problems. Number 2, in order to do that, it's the best marketer wins. In order to generate more sales and more revenue, then you've got to become a master at marketing. And if you don't know how to market, if that's not a skill set of yours and you don't know the how, then hire a who or hire multiple who's so that you can become great at marketing. And then I would highly recommend reading those 2 books that we mentioned here, which is Who Not How and 10X is Easier Than 2X. Guys, if you got value out of this video, go ahead and hit the like button below. Make sure you subscribe, and I'll continue to just share our journey of building Franchise Empire and this company and business that we're building. And hopefully I'll be able to see your success as you continue along the road too. Now, you may not know that my journey has not been all sunshine and rainbows. I actually had 9 failed businesses before ever doing anything meaningful as an entrepreneur. So in this video, you can learn more about my story and journey from going from 9 failed businesses to over $4.6 million in sales. And actually now at this point, it's over $5 million in sales. So feel free to go check that out and just, learn from my mistakes. Look forward to seeing you on the next one.